All right. Back in it. Who's ready for another 4 hours of total war and getting screwed by allies and getting invaded by every neighbor we have? It continues. I was reading a bit of that when I was working on my audio. I used to be very willing to debate political things. I don't have much passion for it anymore. Oh, I know. I did read part of it. I have many thoughts on those things, but I'm going to be honest. I'd rather just play some Grand Campaign. I don't know. I still have very strong political beliefs, but I also realized I'm not going to convince anyone of anything. And I just get tired of people and some ideas they believe. So I just try not to engage in anymore. Really at all. We're not playing Sweden. I went into Sweden by accident. Give me a moment. That's a very good question. Give me just a moment. There's a larger message. Has the strategic viability of expansion in the Asian Pacific been discussed? It's nearly boxed into Europe and Africa, and expansion opportunities in the Americas are limited. As recent conflicts with the Japanese powers could perhaps provide some RP motivation for this as well. What's up, Cosmic? I've thought a lot about that as well. The big issue is how powerful the Asian countries are, really more than anything else. They're strong. They are very strong. I'll show you when we get back in game here in a minute. The Ming are gone. The Chagatai rule there and about to establish a Sunni imamate in China. The Korea is very powerful and they can 1v1 us. Both Japans are very strong. India, the Tamil are just ridiculously strong. We probably should start moving towards Indonesia. It's just going to be a brutal slog to get anything there and to establish colonies because we are getting pushed out of the Americas, right? The pirates are so strong now we can't even contend them. Brazil's basically gone. Peru's gone. We still have Chile. We still have California. That's it. So I think definitely we need to think about going into Asia. We have the fleet for it. It's a question of how. We can win naval battles, but if our fleet goes to Asia and we get hit at home, that's it, right? Our fleet is our only power left. And if we use our shield as our sword, we run the risk of destruction, unfortunately. We don't have the size and scope to have utility with our weapons. We have to pick how we use them very carefully. Australia's been colonized. I'll show you the map a little bit. Out of RP, I don't mind showing you guys the whole map in this, obviously, so. Australia's been colonized by Maharashtra, which I believe is, yes, that is the Tamil, so that's India. India's colonized Australia. A little bit is owned by Pasai as well, which I think is here. Yes, Indonesia colonized a bit of it. New Zealand's still all tribes, so that's actually an option. Colonize here. Colonies here from India. India colonized a ton of this. Yusugai own a bunch of the islands in Indonesia. Yusugai own all the Philippines. Osakawa own most of the islands over here. What the hell is this? That's Osakawa. Hawaii is independent. I actually may go after that. That'd be a good jumping stone. We passed it when we were fighting the Hosokawa, so we know about it at this point. The Ming are basically gone, right? They just have the coastline left. It's the Mongols. This is the OG Mongols from CK3, and then the Chagatai. Follow up Piran Hamo. Took up a wee bit too. Korea is very strong. Paulus is very strong. The Fat Mids colonized a bunch as well. They have some of the islands over here. I know that. It's a reminder, what do we have left in the New World? Technically, we have Brazil. It's occupied by the Takrur, who we're at war with. I'm just mentally preparing myself to throw myself back into this. And we have this tiny little bit of Chile left. The rest we lost to the Fatimids in the peace treaty, and the Takrur in that last peace treaty when we were fighting 3 people at once. And then we do have California. So another war of the Hosokawa is going to be needed, if only to expand California as our pinnacle colony left in the Americas. The pirates are terrifyingly strong now. Chris will not be coming back. He was just here for 2 sessions. He couldn't make today, so we're calling that. The tribe died here. Now it's just the Norwegians and the French. There's that one federation left in the middle. That is it. They got attacked when you're in the middle of that giant war, so there's nothing we could do. And yeah, Deviet is definitely possible. They're also very fucking strong. So if we want to get into Asia, we probably have to start in New Zealand or start in the Indonesian archipelago, taking lands from the Japanese colonizers. Every one of those wars will not just be brutal to win. It's a case of if we send all of our army and our fleet away from Europe, 1 war by Castalla, 1 war by France, and we're done. So, just juggling 10 things at once really here. I always loved debating and talking politics with you back in the days before the dark times. I enjoyed speaking with you about things too, Jay. I don't know. I've lost a lot of passion for it in the last year. I think a lot of it's just politics have become so much more realistic. I've had a lot of friends who have frankly had a lot of consequences of the far-right policies in some states lately and had issues, very, very real issues with it. And it's just not an abstract thing for me anymore. It's just kind of, they're very emotionally charged because, I don't know, that shit actually hurts people. People I know, I don't like that. It's very tough for me to debate it now without getting, frankly, very angry. Alrighty. Politics aside, let's jump into the Grand Campaign again. So, a reminder, last time we had an absolutely gigantic war. The 6-year war, the biggest war in human history in this Grand Campaign. It pitted France, Britain, Byzantium, us, and all of our colonies against Castalla and her allies in Lithuania. In the beginning, the war went quite well. We sunk their fleets all across the Mediterranean. We sunk the Castalla fleet. We sunk their fleet in 5-to-1 odds. If you remember, the Battle of the Strait of Gibraltar put 260 Spanish ships up against 50 of ours, and we won. Every naval battle we were victorious, but in North Africa, we lost ground. In France, after initial victories, Castalla simply overwhelmed the French in Byzantium. And in the east, Lithuania managed to delay Byzantium. At the end of things, like dominoes, first the cowardly French pieced out, then the cowardly Byzantines, and then the British. As the war ended, we found, because I wasn't paying attention, that Byzantium had taken a large portion of Brazil, as Brazil had revolted against us, alongside the Papal States. That war we did manage to win. We executed and publicly chopped off the head of the governor of Brazil in our capital in Sassari. And we beat the Papal States, whereby we took basically their entire treasury in order to actually have... You know what I didn't do? I didn't edit us back into a monarchy, did I? Fuck, I may do that in a second. We did manage to take Napoli in the peace deal, and we managed to get the gold so that we're not completely in debt here. All right, I'm going to do a few commands. I was going to do these by myself. You guys will get to see me do them. These are all RP-based things. So, just... Hopefully this won't ruin your immersion. I just didn't get to these yesterday. As I said, my dad's been visiting, I've had family, so I've been very busy. All right. See if I remember how to do edits in EU4. It's been a while. We are going to... Let me go look at the command list for EU4. And list. Actually, a command for me to lower the level of the monument? Or to destroy the monument? Actually, might not be able to. Not destroy monuments? Okay. I'll just remove all the dev then. Can only do it once. Developments. EU4 commands are so much more brutal than other games develop. Also not destroy all the development in it? I cannot. All right, we'll do the other option. I'm going to downgrade their center of trade. What else can I do just to... I want to RPY show that we sacked Rome, and the game is making that very difficult for me right now. Devastation. Can I add devastation? I cannot. Commands really are limited for EU4. I always knew that you had to do a lot of the EU4 edits in the save files, but I didn't realize it was quite this bad. It does predict it indeed. All right, see if we can fuck them a little bit on their estates. How much money are they making? Oh my god. No, I'm not looking at it. It's gonna make me angry. So make them do something really... Trying to see if there's anything that would represent what I'm trying to do here through an RP lens. Not really. No. Make them sell some of their land. I just want to like find a way to portray the fact that we're basically screwed them. I guess that's all we can really do, which is quite unfortunate. All right. Rome has been burned in the RP though. That's the important thing. I think everyone here is fine with that. I just wanted to try and find a physical way to represent that, but that is going to be quite difficult. And then we need to go back into a monarchy proper. So let's go do that real quick. To take... reform points. I want the one that gives us a monarchy. I may actually have to jump into the save files to change the last name of our royal family too, so bear with me here, guys. Form. Press. Get 50 just for what I want to do. That's it. And then we're gonna go back. I think general stage is probably what we have to do. Okay, yeah, we're a king now. It's elective. That's what I don't want, and I don't understand why we keep getting that. This is my lack of EU4 knowledge on full display right here. If anyone knows this game better than me, feel free to let me know what I'm not doing. Try that again. Kingdom. What is it that's causing elections? States General, maybe? States General. I'm gonna try support the command and see if that does what we're trying to do. Okay, the assembly abolished. That's what I wanted. Simeon the Fifth comes of age. And then he has the wrong... Yes, okay. Here we go. That's what I wanted. We're fine. And I'm gonna go into the save file very briefly and change his name. Trucko Nero, what's the current stats on our king? King Ambrusa II Torres. We're going to roll on his stats too. All right, get the save. Man, I haven't edited an EU4 save file in 2 years. I'll roll the stats live on stream. We'll do it that way. All right, save files. Interactive, EU4. It's can I use it? I bet I can use Sublime on it. I can. Beautiful. I think. I can just use a console command for our king leader. Okay. Current year is, I think, 62? 63. We have those trolls. I'm trying to edit the save file. Is there any mods still left? If these guys are trolling, you're welcome to ban. I need to focus on trying to get this done real quick. Save file. Okay, I figured it out. We're good. Give me just a moment. To do it differently. Okay, I figured out what I was doing. I saved the file wrong somehow, so I was trying to edit like a broken file, but I got it. Should just take 10 seconds now. I'm reading this chat now. Yeah, so Tiffany and Crayon, you're welcome to stay in here, but no toxic, no trolling. I'm just gonna ban you if you keep doing that. Up to you. I'll give you one warning. Needlessly difficult. I've helped on save edits on like almost all the Paradox games. I've never done them in the EU4 campaigns because other people always did them, so I never really learned how. Gosh, it's 7:30 already. May only be a couple hours tonight for the Grand Campaign. We'll see. I also may stream the Grand Campaign tomorrow after Millennium Dawn. I'm thinking I may just do it like after both games on the weekends until we get as far as we can, because the multiplayer grand campaign is coming up in 3 weeks, and I wanted to actually be done with this grand campaign before then. We have a long ways to go. So I think I may kind of do 2 a week just to go through it a bit quicker. I don't want to rush through it, but I also, there's no reason we can't cover a bit more ground. I must have compressed the save when I did it. Yes, it is starting in CK3, 1066. What I found out today when I was playing Fallen Eagle is Fallen Eagle can actually be save translated to EU4. So next single player grand campaign, I think I'm going to do that. That'd be really cool. Now let's try this again. Yeah, okay, I compressed it. That was the problem. There we go. It bases them on your dynasty legacies, Pure and Hamo. So the dynasty legacies that you choose in CK3, that actually will dictate a large degree of what you get in CK3 or what you get in EU4 if you're not using a tag for a country that it has ideas in it already, which I think is really cool, actually, honestly. Beautiful. There we go. All right. Just need to find the leader. Under, I think yes they are. What are you doing for your house's history? What the? I'm chomping at the bit to write my own history, but I want to wait until everyone else picks their stuff since I'm the main GC. I don't want to take anyone else's slot, so I've got like 4 ideas, and I can't obviously do any of them quite yet. See, okay. We need to use his name. What was his name? Solomon. There's a lot of admirals currently named Solomon in the game. Oh, this is history. This is way back. Solomon, Sarah. One. Just launch it up and find it again. Oh man, the way EU4 save files are structured is so tedious. Fuck it. I'm just gonna launch it, find his name. I have a French family that ended up in Crimea. Talked to C2 to make sure my idea wasn't outrageous. Nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, I haven't looked at all the forums today. Probably do that tomorrow. Yeah, I did. All of our family names are everywhere in the save file now. Tons of admirals and explorers and generals have a bunch of our family's names. I'm seeing that right now. I need to find the name of our leader and I can find it in the file easier. This is a learning experience. Fortunately, it's taking a bit more time than I expected it to. Oh well. What's his name? It's not Biera. It's Biera, I swear to God. No, it's not. $1604. God damn it. Wait, does the EU4 keep track of your monarch even when you don't have him? If you're a state versus monarchist faction? Yeah, right. You want to see what I'm doing? Yeah, sure. Very exciting, I promise. One thing I wish Vic 3 really needs to fucking add is what EU4 has with its history system. I was looking for that in order to like make one of my roleplay videos a bit better and one of my roleplay statements. And Vic 3 doesn't track any wars or stuff historically. There's no place to find them. The guy was listed as Solomon V. Yeah, I need to find his last name though. I can change it here. It's Simeon. It wasn't even Solomon. Simeon the Fifth. That immediately comes up. (1663) Dynasty. Yes. Okay. And then what was his name again? Ruzu the Second. He is 29 years old. Which would be born in 34. And then let's roll for his stats as well. Nobody needs to share my full screen directly. Browser. So, I swear I know how to use OBS here. I labor away with OBS and save files. Normally you guys don't have to watch this. It's me trying to figure all this shit out. Not today though. I do apologize. Display capture. It's not the right one. Monitor, there we go. All right, 1d6. First for his administrative skill. Toria, thank you. Let me fix that before I forget. No, I wrote Taurus. We're fine, it's Taurus. All right, well, actually, Diplo is first. So we'll roll Diplo 1d6. A 1. All right. That's not the right button. A 1 for Diplo. Honestly, should have just kept the 353, but next we have, I think, admin 4. Okay. And then for military. All right, he's not very competent, is he? That's fine. I'm just gonna make sure there's no other issue iterations. Send me on the 5th. To change all of them. Oh, I just didn't save it, I think. Ruzu. One, it was, what are we, a 1-4, 1-4-2. Safe. Dude, that works. Yeah, 1-4-2. Alrighty. Should do it. Cool. Let's hope it worked. I think I will stream for probably 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm fine to go to 10 tonight, so it's a good 2 hours. And then after MD tomorrow, I think I also will stream for 3 or 4 hours the Grand Campaign. So just heads up. I'll probably put a thing out in the Discord about that. Well, also I just get exhausted here. I don't think I will, but you never know. I used to force myself to continue streams like really far and really late. And then I realized, like, if I'm just like streaming for streaming's sake and everyone's cool with it, that's fine. But when I'm streaming to like turn things into YouTube videos lately, if I'm forcing myself to stream, like the shit I'm going to end up having to like edit is going to be so low quality. So I just try not to do that anymore. I think it's kind of a waste. I mean, I used to do that when I did those 24-hour streams. I mean, those stopped being entertaining, I'd say probably after hour 10. It's because I was a zombie. I don't know. Long streams aren't really entertaining, I don't think. Do you still DoorDash? Yes. For extra money. For really money. I think it was this one. We're about to find out if I actually did this right. Come on. Come on. Ambruzu the second. Torres. Beautiful. Okay, we're good. Now we get into the fun stuff. By fun stuff, I mean non-stop total warfare all the time as everyone invades us. Find another music playlist. Oh. Oh, we didn't crash. Good. What am I gonna play? was tempted to keep playing that Fallen Eagle soundtrack. It was so good, but no. This one. Everyone wants to rule the world. It's fitting, isn't it? Unfortunately, that will get me slapped by copyright, and I'm so gun shy of that. Give it a month or two, then I won't be just constantly scared of YouTube hitting my VODs and videos. All right. I briefly overviewed it again, but I'll do it a second time, just very quickly. Last time, we had those giant wars. There were multiple of them, and then we had the 6-year war where we fought Castalla with all the other major powers of Europe. And at the end of things, we lost. Not badly, but they all dropped out, and they all left the war, and we were forced to fight on alone, really. And the peace deal, no one really lost anything. It was just a status quo. After which, we were declared war on by Chancellor, or rather, we finished the war after Brazil declared independence. We executed the governor. We reestablished our rule in what remains of Brazil. There's not much of it. They were at war with Chancellor in Britain, and then we were informed that we would also be at war with these countries, given we have taken back our colony. What's it well? And as a result, we are currently in a major war with Chancellor, the Western Africa superpower, and with Britannia. We have Ruthenia in the war with us. They have sided, and they are a very powerful nation, and one we should be very happy to have on our side. There are 175,000 troops. Will be quite a lot and very needed. Where's our main fleet? It is patrolling the coastline of Brazil. We will not be winning in America anytime soon, so let's focus on Chancellor's holdings in the mainland areas. And we'll wait for our Ruthenian allies to catch up and get their troops over here. I really would like to know where Britannia's fleet is. It's very strong. They have one of the biggest fleets in the world still remaining. A grand total of 67 heavy ships, and then we have 50. So toe-to-toe, we can probably contend them, but it will be rough. We do have a very strong policy right now, which is, of course, where is it? Skilled cartographers, giving us a global naval engagement modifier of 20, which if you know how the EU4 naval system works, you will know is very strong. We also got the lawgiver trait for King Ambruser II. Orciolo, god damn it. I'll fix that later, it's fine. It's Torres. See about getting a royal marriage. Let's keep improving relations with Byzantium. We do have income again. We paid off most of our loans. We had, what was it, 28 or 38 loans at the end of those wars. We still have 19 left. 7,200 debt left. It's quite a lot. I thought we paid back more than that. That's weird, but all right. They are marching right in. We are obviously going to wait for our allies and just try and harass their fleets for as long as possible. Yeah, we do need an heir. Yeah, we've been married to Byzantium for quite a while, on and off. We're maxed out. We're not going to get anything more with them. Let's look around and see who else we could potentially marry. We need allies. We have nothing but enemies these days. Well, Thuringia. They're about to get completely partitioned though, so that's probably not a very good idea. Already have one with Ruthenia. I say we go after Bavaria. I'm gonna improve relations with them, and then we'll try and get a royal marriage into the Sigurdur Bjarki family. Which, if what someone said last time's correct, they're technically that dynasty or descendants of Ragnar Lothbrok. Can anyone confirm or deny that? I'm gonna follow Tristar official. Someone said last time that that dynasty is descended from Ragnar. And I didn't look that up. Anyone knows, let me know, because I'm curious. Having some Ragnar Viking blood in our royal line, I don't think would be a very bad idea. Let's go up to speed 4. We are running a surplus. That's something. We lost all our transport ships, so I'm building more of those right now. Their fleet has gotten away. Look at that. Let's bring them back to port, repair them, and I want to see if we can chase down the British fleet. Taking down their flagship, taking down their bigger ships would be so huge for us. We lost the last of our conquistadors. He'll be the last conquistador I think we ever have. The whole world is charted these days. The whole world is mapped. There's no place left for their kind. They are a dead breed of commander. I love barbecue cheese, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. How do you not like barbecue, though? That's the real question. We'll be playing in a Nation of the Millennium Dawn role-playing game. Yes, I will, Alex. I'll be playing a very small one. Oh, man. Okay, I engaged our troops. I didn't see the reinforcements. This does not look good. We need to get a discipline advisor. Are they going to help us? They are not. We just got stack wiped somehow. We're back, boys. We're back, folks. That's the grand campaign I know and love lately. Oh my God. All right, let's recruit some elite infantry. Our 46,000 strong army was just stack wiped in North Africa. Our land army is such a joke. It's kind of ridiculous. On sea, we're unstoppable. On land, you would think that we're sending men into combat with no soldiers. And we were declared war on by the Hoxakawa. I can't wait till Vicky 3. Jesus Christ, man. This, like, I enjoy EU4, but my issue of EU4 is that it's this. After a certain point in mid to late game, it's just everyone declaring on you constantly. I've never been able to figure out how to get around that. And it does get tiring. Britain's currently having the Great Plague. They have been punished by God. A grave illness has befallen the capital, turning the city into a dire necropolis, a place of plague and dying men. The crown of England has already faded, trade, tax, and production dying out, tarnished and dirty. To think that God, who we were so faithful to, has struck down so many innocents. It hasn't touched us. We just sunk the Takruri flagship. We wipe all their navies and wait for Ruthenia's armies. We might be all right here. Let's repair in port and let's go find the British. Oh, I don't even know what to do about the Hosokawa. We get an alliance with Bavaria. That would be pretty big. They like the Papal States too much. How's it going, Left Thumb? What's up? You get a war galleon out of that. We need to upgrade our whole fleet too, and we just... Oh man, we're in a bad spot. I know I say that a lot, and I do in EU4 because this has been brutal, but we're in a bad spot. This is pretty dire. Ruthenia just out here carrying as always. My gosh. Yes, we can send our navy, we can send our transport fleets, we can drop troops there, and we can fight them in California. In order to do that, we're going to need to win this war. We just need to hold off the Hosokawa for long enough. They'll occupy California. There's nothing we can do about that. But if we hold them there long enough and we can win this war, somehow get mild bribes growing more accepted, great. If we can hold them off, get a minor piece off Tekrur, we can focus in fully on the Hosokawa again, and we can turn this war around and take a bunch of their land in California and feed California more. Pick signed Amaranth? Oh my gosh. You're gonna follow fun. I watch your Millennium Dawn roleplay good videos. Hell yeah, dude. Which ones were you watching? All of them or any particular? Let's get a new command. Barzoni Lucerna is really not bad. We'll use him. Vinny is all the way in. Oh, the Brazil one. Yeah, that was the first one we ever did. That was probably my favorite. We're about to get a huge military advantage if we can get 22 early, but we need to adapt manufactories. We just don't have money. We're like 6K in debt still from all these recent wars. The union of Abruzzo II and De Gira. We've gained not only a spouse, but also a new ally to the realm. The Caetani is an old and influential family, and they're seeing Corsica as a jewel of the kingdom. Of course, friendship has to go both ways, and the De Gira family will expect a lot from us. We married local. Asada. Oh, we have an heir, Asada. He's a 424, and then our wife is a 456. Wow. Not bad. Probably distantly related, but that's fine. I stopped for a while. We had a lot of issues with the multiplayer community I ran it in, but we are actually looking to get it going again pretty soon, so there may be more coming out. We'll see. Remember when you were trying to hasting on India and y'all agreed to do a deal involving me without contact me because you thought I was AI? Yeah, I didn't remember that too. That was pretty funny. Ruthenia sent another 75,000 men. We have another army of 36,000. I can't take any of these technologies until we get manufactories, which we just don't have the income. It's like you need to open up your scissors, but there's a zip tie around the handles of the scissors, so you need scissors to open the scissors. That's like our whole situation right now, I think. It's a good way to describe it. Maintaining marriage bonds with other countries has helped Sardinia Corsica diplomatically. In a recent meeting with Tsar Yaroslav I, the ruler of Ruthenia, you also discussed the spiritual significance of bonds of marriage. Yaroslav I and many of his ambassadors were followers of Vishnu. What? Sir, they are devout Catholics. Did I get a bug? What's our religion? That was bugged. I don't know what that was. We'll go with RP wise. They're just really fascinated with Indian culture, and we talked about it. We'll go with that. I don't know what that was. That was very strange. Really entertaining. Just how all the players engage in it. Yeah, they're really fun. They are very fun. They go well. Okay, we're going south. Fleet should be repaired too. They've got a lot of their troops in the Americas too, so we actually can probably siege out all their homelands, which is really big. Let's go hunting for the British fleet as well. I have started to make more content that I know does well, but I don't really like making. I don't really like making tutorials. It's not really fun. They do very well though. And I've realized recently I need to start making more content that does well. Let's go circle the British Isles and see if we can find something. Wait, are we not at war with Britain anymore? No, Britain's not in the war. It's just attack Ruhr. Did I piece them out in like the end of last session or something? I don't remember doing that. We're just at war with attack Ruhr. A lot of weird stuff. I hope I didn't fuck up the save or anything. A little worried I might have here. Where's Ruthenia going? Oh, they're sieging that out. That's fair. Let's pull back and just hold the pass while they take those sieges, and we'll go further south. I know this is so cost ineffective, but we need the advantage here. Anyone who plays EU4, look away. Just don't look at what I'm doing right now. Kind of want to take this battle. They're going to get around behind us. We really don't want that. Let's take it. Let's go. No, no, Ruthenia. We split them. No, Ruthenia, you fox. If they win it, it's worth it, but I don't think they will. Nope. I am going to make another template design for MD. I just need to get more accustomed to the current version of it. I read through all the code on it and stuff, and I have a basic idea, but I want to test some builds, which I'm doing in that MD campaign. Nope. We just cannot help you. I'm just trying to think of our long-term plan here. I don't normally have this happen in strategy games. I'm at that point where, like, normally in a strategy game, I can make a plan and adapt around it and keep like the core strategy and go down it, even with big losses. This grand campaign is the first, especially in EU4, where I literally just have to completely throw out like the plans I have in the back of my mind, and I'm just trying to figure out what to do. It's been a few times. When I get that really annoyed, like, thoughtful look, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. I'm gonna be honest here. Because long term, I mean, like, it would be the same for our country. Like, Sardinia is in survival mode, like, to be very clear about what this is. I'm just trying to come up with a long-term strategy for how we get out of this. Because the inflation's going to kill us before anything else does. Not as bad as I expected, actually. I think we have an advisor for it. Let's get our military advisors. Could be useful. Idea. It's not a good one. That's a tough call. All right, here's what I'm thinking. This is fucking painful. I think what we have to do is we have to pull out of South America. I think what we need to do, we need to RP-wise sell Brazil to Byzantium, sell the southern holdings we have in Argentina to Byzantium, and if they want it, we'll need to sell Chile to Byzantium. The end result being we could ally them, and we'd actually have a strong ally in Europe. Then we all in on North America. So we're going to focus our efforts on expanding California into a very powerful colony, take the Alaskan region from the Usagai, and then from there, we go into Asia. It's really the only place left that we can contend in that the Europeans are not. We'd have to give up a lot for it. But having a mainland ally with Byzantium opens the door to the only thing that gets us out of this, right? Which is winning mainland European wars. We can't rely on colonies forever. We can't count on Castalla not invading us. So we need to give up a lot. We need to get an ally in Byzantium, and if we can build up trust with them, we can get their support in invading Italy. Do like a Western Rome versus Eastern Rome thing here. Maybe go after Egypt. We're natural allies with Byzantium. That's the horrible part of this whole situation, is we're natural friends with them in every way. Yep. Okay, that's the plan. So in this peace treaty, we're going to take every last bit of gold that Takrur has to pay off our loans. I'm going to probably annex a couple of their coastal regions here, including those islands. I'm going to annex a large degree of territory in Brazil, and we're going to sell it to Byzantium, make some money on that. I am then going to probably go use the save editor to transfer all of Brazil to Byzantium. RP-wise, we're going to sign a peace with them, a treaty, and we're going to transfer and give them sole dominion over South America. When the war is done, we're going to all in on the Hosokawa War, and we're going to take as much land as we can here, and then we're going to pivot to Asia. That's the plan. That's about the only thing I can think of at this point that has a remote chance of victory. This is like that in-game meme where Doctor Strange is looking into the future. How many? I looked through 10 million timelines, and how many did Sardinia survive? 1. It's not quite that bad, but All right, that's the plan. I think we're going to go for that. I mean, our nation is just desperate at this point, right? We're an ancient and continuously decaying and dying power. We haven't had stability and security, and I'd say probably 200 years. And at this point, the state has failed. The monarchy failed before. The monarchy is back again. To keep our power, we have to do something radical. And given he has no diplomatic acumen, but he has good administrative acumen, I think this is something our boy here would do. Yep. That is the plan, ladies and gentlemen. But first, we have to win this war. I promise I will go back to reading and focusing on all the flavor. I just need to get into a point where we're like not drowning. Ruthenia has been such a lifesaver, though. I know we struggled for most of this grand campaign to have no allies, but we found one in Ruthenia. That's Ukraine, by the way, basically. They're turning into Ukraine, which is fucking cool. Piss off, everyone. Our leader is Ambrozu II. Ambrozu II. They pieced out Ruthenia. Fuck. That's a problem. We may actually not be able to win this war now. Ruthenia's never done that before. They've never pieced out early like that. Oh my god. All right, we have to sign a peace. We're having an Black Thursday. We're having an investing crisis. Our stock market just crashed. Okay. We have so many loans too, that's why. Take the siege and then we're gonna offer a peace. What do you want? Fuck it, we'll just give them South America. Let the Byzantines fight them for it. No gold. You can have more land if you want. Does not want Copiano. Right, they don't want any of this region. Oh boy. Okay. Bring the army back. How many transports do we have? We can't even afford what we have, not with the investing crisis. We can't lose to Tokugawa. They want Pomo and they want San Antonio. I will literally sell them to you. The governor's at 666. My god. Okay, how the fuck do we fight the Hosokawa? That's the next question. When we have no docking places near California. Just out of curiosity, I'm probably not going to be something I'll accept. And they want all of California. We're not going to do that. going to make the risky play here. I hope I don't regret this. Give me a second here. I gotta mentally recover for a moment after these just massive L's. Oh man, I've never had a grand campaign be this rough. I'm gonna be honest. Never. I like it. I do. I really do like it. But this day takes a heavy fucking toll, you know? All right, give me like 2 minutes to collect myself and think about our plan here. I know what we're doing. The ages of Sardinia's Great Depression have begun. Yeah, well, this is a low point. This is a low point for sure. Okay. Let's make a bit of money. Hopefully. They're not fucking indebted as shit. Oh, southern provinces? Okay, let's get tyrannical. Can I annex the subject? Is there no way for us to sell a colonial province? So we don't directly own it. Well, that makes us... Okay, I might just use a save edit to give it to them. We'll do it like that. San Antonio we have to get rid of. The other option is we just straight up release Campania di Alarca. I'd really like to not do that though. Not that there's anything left. All 4 provinces. Hosokawa took all that back. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna just work around like with the EU4 system that's really annoying like this. I'm just gonna tag over to them and I'm gonna make them sell it to Byzantium. Let's do it that way. Now we won't even get the money. We'll just do it like that. So can we not do it at all? We'll do it this way. Annex 2868 C25. We sold Byzantium, the last of our South American territories. I'm going to get them to send us... We'll do, for those provinces, we'll do 600 gold. We'll get them to send us 600. I think that's reasonable. It'd probably be more. But given I'm using save edits, I don't want to go overboard. Do that. And then we will go back to Sardinia. All right. So, all of our South American holdings are gone. Takrur has taken most of them. Byzantium has conquered the rest, and the last of them that we didn't lose to Dosakala, we just sold to Byzantium. We have 2 provinces left in the Americas. We have Miwok, and we have Ohlone, which is modern-day San Francisco Bay. That's all we have left colonially. There's nothing else. You may be thinking, like many of the nobles and burghers in Sardinia, that the days of Sardinia are done, and that King Abruzzo is a madman who has given away the last chance of hope for nothing. But the reason we have done this is very simple. We are counting on the fact that now that we are not in a colonial game, we can get a hold of some more European allies and come back and fight the Asian countries. We also need to deal with economic crisis. So I don't know if you guys saw the pop-up. Sardinia is in full-on economic crisis mode right now. Our economy collapsed. Our banks collapsed in the war. Our investor confidence collapsed. The economy of Sardinia is basically non-existent currently. We have to get back on our feet. We still have the fleet, but that's it. Is he 4 years old? No, he's 35. Our heiress, Asada, is 4. I'll have to edit that again because I didn't do it right. Currently, we're going to mothball the fleet. Mothball the transport ships. We're going to work on economic recovery while we keep diplomats in Rome, or I apologize, Constantinople, to try and rebuild relations and try and build up relations in Bavaria. We need a great power ally. Doesn't matter who it is. We ran into this new community and series. I genuinely wonder if there's a single player or multiplayer game. Basically, it just feels as live as multiplayer, but I just don't know. This is single player. This is a single player grand campaign I've been doing for, probably 8 months now, actually, on and off. I stopped playing it for like 3 months, and then I really got back into it, so. Okay. We gotta pay off these loans. We actually have income now. Send an army to Becerra. I'm going to mothball it. We're going to put down all our forts. This is so dangerous. Pay off the last of our inflation. I'm going to go for diplomatic reputation advisor. Everything we can get that makes people like us more is big right now. We have to go full diplo. And EU4, that's a bit rough, but it is doable. I also am going to save up. We're going to embrace manufactories, and then we're going to start to pay off our debts because we got to catch up on tech here. We are behind. Wow, we are literally the sick man of Europe right now. This is kind of ridiculous. I still have debugger mode on. Let's turn that off. Oh, Frisia. The crown has often resorted to short-term cash grabs like the sale of government offices. These sales would bring in a lot of revenue, but in a long-term, more officials meant more tax revenue siphoned off before it could reach the royal treasury. 20 years of tax cutting off. That is around 230 a year. 20 years, that is 4,000. That is not worth it. We are declining. We have administration 4, so we'll make a reasonable call there. We'll embrace manufactories. Take the Quebec and take land clearance. Constitution limes are the ones we really need. Constitution for the new idea group, which, by the way, if y'all want to start thinking about what will be our next idea group given our current position, just a reminder, these are what we have left. So far, we have taken naval, exploration, quality, trade, and economic. We also could literally get rid of exploration and do another one instead. I'm not opposed to doing that because the age of exploration is dead. So if we want to replace that, we can too. So feel free to have a think about that before we go ahead and do a poll on that. So let's talk about the roleplay situation for Sardinia now that we're a little bit out of the woodwork for the moment. So basically what has happened again is after the end of the 6-year war, as if you remember, we had that moment where the status fell and the burghers, although they're still massively wealthy and influential, lost massive power in Sardinia. And as a result, there was the coup where the Chancellor was locked up in prison. He's probably still there. And whereby power was seized once more by House Torres and we returned to a monarchy. It was almost the worst possible time to do it because we were locked in the War of the Taquer and with Britannia. And at the end of things, we did lose that war after Ruthenia left. Given that he had no allies remaining and no options, Abruzzo, who knows that if he fails here, not only may the status get power again, but there's actually probably a solid chance that the monarchy could get abolished entirely. You got to remember, Sardinia in this game is kind of the hub of radical ideas, right? Religious and political. And I'm sure ideas like not having a monarch are definitely in the capital. So we have to be very careful. Given that we took the very radical course we just did, where Abruzzo, who is a very capable administrator, but he has a very poor diplomatic mind, essentially just sold out all of our South American territory, and pieced out of 2 great wars, and accepted defeat at a level that's really never been seen before by House Torres or by our country. Everyone would see this as a low point, but I think this is also a case of we're in such a bad situation. There's really no other option for the burghers, for the church, for the nobles, for the people of Sardinia to just basically follow where he's leading. I want to underline this very clearly. King Abruzzo II will be the king who either rebuilds and starts the comeback for Sardinia, or he will be the king who puts the final nail in the coffin for our house and for our country. Like, guys, we're in a bad shape here. Either this play works, or this may be a game over for our house. We'll switch and play another country after, don't get me wrong, but this is it. And that's a rough situation to be in. All right. What is our next idea group going to be? What are people feeling right now? I could see humanists myself. I think I could probably see defensive. I might even see diplomatic or espionage due to our current situation. And maybe innovative. That's what I'm thinking. Does anyone have any ideas for what we're going to do here? I'll set up a poll in just a moment. I don't know if there's any mods left, so I think I will do that here. Worst case scenario. Here, group. Innovative. I'm going to put down humanist. Given our religious tolerance, I think that is warranted. Do we have anything else? Offensive and defensive. I'll put both of those in there too. There's one more option if anyone has anything else. The nobility would possibly double down and go autocratic ideals. Tall, you have to remember the nobility has no power in our country. We stripped them of it when we empowered the burghers. The nobles are very, very, very weak in our country. So, all right, we'll leave it at that then. Poll is up. And then I think after this, I'll do another poll for our other idea group. I'm going to remove exploration and we're going to replace it with something else. So that will be right after. This is just a dramatic restructuring of Sardinia's government. of Sardinia's ideals and of Sardinia's path forward. Like, we're throwing out the book here. We get to, because we just couped the government, are reestablishing an absolute monarchy. And we are an absolute monarchy, right? So... to rebuild our relations with the Ruthenians. Oh my gosh, they're not hostile anymore. Huge. We're not strong enough for them to want to ally, though. That's fine. We can work with that. Who are our remaining allies? Ruthenia. Let's go ahead and unguarantee these guys too. Let's see if we can find any more allies here. I'll follow Hectonia. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. Weird. Rival with the Dutch. I don't even know who you are, but all right. Nope, there's no more allies for us. Oh god, this is so bad. You gotta remember, our army's tiny, and it won't get bigger for a long time. Everything's a navy. Collapse of the Silk Road. Interesting. We're just gonna permanently station an ambassador in Castalla. How many more loans do we have? A lot. 23. Okay. Let's look at trade again. We need to build up a bunch of trade ships and grow our trade power in Genoa. We can build like 60 of them, really. I'm just going to take out the loans for it. I think it's worth it. How's the poll doing right now? Innovative or defensive? A number of hostile publications have begun to circulate in the cities of Sardinia and Corsica. Anonymous, but yet very critical, authors claim that our government is autocratic and demand both a written constitution and a parliament where the various parts of our country can be represented. We're going to ban it. Really? Defensive it is. All right. I am going to get rid of exploration right now. What are our ideas for our other free idea group? I am replacing exploration completely. So what are we thinking for that? Gonna follow Normandy. Innovative. Okay. Pull up here. Is there a way to not have it do that? We have innovative. What else? Innovative, innovative. Well, I mean, if there's no other options, we can just do innovative. I'll give it like 1 more minute in case anyone is differing in what they want here. What's up, ST Normandy? How are you doing? Interactive. I'm actually an AI. So you know, I'm not real. This is an AI program. What would we do next here? I'm trying to think. We're going very autocratic. We're completely pivoting. Everything's up in the air. We took Divine Right of Kings. Yeah, we already did. Okay. We'll do royal endorsement of scientific study. I mean, we're about to go innovative anyway. For one, welcome our streamer AI overlords. Good, good. You'll have more cryptocurrency when we rule. All right, innovative it is. Simple as that. We will take limes. We'll need to upgrade our whole fleet here too. We're up to date on tech at least. I'm gonna take weapon standards. Let's educate our heir too. We'll give her a military education, a modern navy education. Would it dissolve the monasteries? I see no reason not to. We don't work with Rome anymore at all. So I'm going to be role-playing Abruzzo as basically a really wild radical. Very modern, but also very much tyrannical and ancient regime. Okay. We're having a real lost the mandate of heaven situation happening here. Yeah, everything's up in the air. One war and we're done. What's up, Renlier? I have some mods on. If you'd like the list, I can give them to you. This is a grand campaign. So I've already played through all of CK3, and then we transferred to save to EU4. When this is done, we're going to Vicky 3 as well. We're going all the way to Stellaris. Well, our nation has plenty of opportunities for learning. One of our allies has invited a CETA to come continue her studies abroad. Oh, Ruthenia offered to tutor our heir. Sure. Have I mentioned how much I love Ruthenia? I think I have once or twice. Let's get our trade income up. We're just going to stack all 6 years of light ships I built on Genoa, and we'll increase our trade revenue a bunch. We have a huge surplus. Do I want to invest in anything else? Probably just need to work on paying off loans, I think, at this point. There's no building that really would be worth it more than doing that, I think. Trade power. Not enough. All right, let's keep paying off loans. Only 25 to go. With the generous liberties we have granted our merchants, we have ended up with a situation where people simply don't want to do honest work anymore. I assume our population, just exhausted from wars, has no trust in our ability to govern, let alone survive at this point. Yeah, that's what this is. I don't blame them. Correct me if I'm wrong, you're playing the king as a guy that's basically so desperate to keep his nation afloat, he's not taking any chances, so he's ruling with an iron fist. Yeah, the way I'm imagining this guy, our ruler, I'm imagining Abruzzo is naturally like a very like modernistic, very like interested in new ideas, almost like, you know, a Renaissance modern guy. But he also knows that his family could face execution, political just exile and destruction. The end of Sardinia could come. And in my mind, he's kind of taken the absolutist hard fist approach out of necessity. Because you got to realize, this game doesn't show the state of countries like, for example, Vic does. When you're fucked up in Vic from wars, you know. When you're fucked up from wars in EU4, it's much harder to tell. Our nation is in shambles. We've been in constant war for 200 years. We had a really brief stable period around 50 years ago, and things have collapsed again. Like, our country as a whole would be overrun with poverty. The economy's gone. Our banks literally defaulted during the middle of the 6-year war, if you remember that. So this nation is being held together really just by brutality and duct tape at the moment. And we're doing like the most risky maneuver we possibly can. And he's got loose lips. Nice. So yes, absolutely Spartan. The other issue certainly at play here is my massive skill issue in EU4, but it's fine. It makes it more fun, I think. It paints a better picture of incompetent rulers, of which we've had many. Fuck it, risky, but let's do it. Recently, Asada, Sarher, has been lacking an interest in the subject she's studying, and is beginning to reflect on her education. We're gonna force her to keep doing it. Have you seen the rumors about the court about the heir reading some radical literature? Oh, she's a rather modern woman, but I don't know. I don't believe it personally. I think I think a lot of it's just made up. Frankly, attempts to disregard the royal family, our ancient regime. I don't know about all that. We have sons. Actually, did Abruzzo have any children? Trucker Nero, are you still here? He might have gone to sleep. It's very late in Europe. Alrighty. Patron of the arts. We're gonna also do battlefield commissions. Make sure to keep down inflation and not put up more money. Yep. It's currently going down right now. I'm fine with 2%. It's only over 3 or 4 I usually get worried. There's no actual major things backing that up, other than that's how I've always played in EU4. See how our trade power is doing now. Oh, we jumped up a lot. Good. We're making some good money now. Smugglers running rampant. Fuck, that's expensive. It's those goddamn Cuban pirates again. You know, we made a deal with them to stop this from happening. Of course they broke it. Pirate King Jorundur Gilberti. Whew. As the burghers grow in power, their calls for fewer trade regulations and taxes become more and more frequent. Many feel our country has an old-fashioned and repressive trade policy, and that we would benefit from reducing the amount of taxes and tolls that hinder commerce. Well, we really can't piss them off right now, so we'll agree. What's up, Curse? How you doing? You know, the pirates are ridiculously powerful, guys. Their fleet is monstrous. Corruption is one of the most common and frequent factors of political and economic life. Several scandals over the last year have brought this issue to the fore, so much so that many of our subjects are calling us to take action against the growing problems. Very well. The current state of the country is actually reminding me of England during the Civil War, where they flipped back and forth between a republic and absolute monarchy. No, yeah, like the Cromwellian period would be like, I think, an interesting comparison to what we're dealing with, or we have dealt with the status. Just not quite as radical and extreme, I'd say. How's the world looking? I suppose the biggest change is the Ming have died and that the Sunni Chagatai are now ruling China. The Mongols have pushed north. They're also very powerful. We were pushed out of New World completely, if you missed that. We only have 2 provinces left in California. And Castalla is conquering all of Hosokawa, California. Looks like we might have lost this no matter what. Oh, man. We gotta go to Asia. We're gonna have to fight Britain there, I think, to get there. We'll have to fight Britain for South Africa. That's doable if we really up our navy. Our navy is way better than theirs. We're gonna have to literally claw our way to Asia. Military drill. Pirates of the Mid-Caribbean, pretty much. I had to G-check my cousin for leaving his belongings. Oh my god. Xeris, are you just making a joke or are you trolling? Let me know now. That way we can figure that out now rather than later. Consider following in Ambrosia II's education pathway. One of our ruler's old tutors has offered to assist her. Very expensive, but we can afford it, and we need a good heir, so we will do it. I agree. I wasn't saying they were identical. I was just saying that they have certain parallels. No, I agree. It is a very interesting comparison. Some of our really strong chancellors are really reminiscent of when England was dealing with those sorts of issues and the struggles of the monarchy where they came back into power really by force. So, yeah, I agree. It's kind of interesting. Keep putting down pirates. They're in the Mediterranean. I think at this point, Cuba is so powerful, they're just straight up sending pirates into the Mediterranean. Because they're very powerful. They're allied with France? I'm sorry, what? Imagining Paris burning. Fire everywhere. Sound of the French kingdom collapsing. One day. One day! My hatred towards the French in this game is almost boundless at this point. I know this is just a game, and this is a fake country of digital textures on the map, but that doesn't make me hate them any less. I'll be honest. Oh, we gotta burn them to the ground. Everything they've done to us at this point, my god. Can we ally Castalla? Why on earth would we do such a thing? They are still actually of our breakaway dynasty. The funny part of everything is Castalla is our dynasty, folks. That is technically House Torres. They just renamed themselves. House Torres is the most dominant family in the world. It's just they're using a different name. Congo Bongo? We could go after the Congo, that's true. You once had France try to ally the Ottomans. I think I've seen that before in like EU4 back in the day. Sounds familiar. And single player too, not even multiplayer. Let's rival the Hosokawa. We have 19 loans left. Getting there, bit by bit. Isada is still lacking interest. We're gonna make her keep doing it. What's up, Fury? How are you doing? Oh, thank you for the raid, man. How's it going? What is up? We are in the middle of the grand campaign, folks. We are in the EU4 portion, and I'm gonna be honest. We're at probably the lowest point of this whole campaign out of 8 months. It's pretty rough. We've lost all of our colonies besides 2 provinces. We have almost no powerful allies left. And we failed to 4v1 the world's pinnacle superpower the rest of the other European majors. So it's pretty rough here. What's up, Fury? Were you streaming Hoi 4? We need to give up this ancestral grudge against Castalla. It's time we take a step into a new era by not fighting, but cooperating with Castalla. Let's forget the past and take steps into the future. Oh, that's some really radical stuff there, Curse. I'm gonna be honest. That's pretty darn radical there, son. This is the big dark age. They might. We have an alright relationship with them right now, and we have a permanently stationed ambassador in Cordoba, which they took from us. Just to remind you guys, Cordoba was like the ancestral home of this branch of our dynasty that currently rules, that they took from us, and now they rule there to put salt on the wounds. I do agree. I can't let my personal player biases affect the diplomacy, but I also think hatred for them would be so deep-seated in Castalla and in Sardinia itself and Castalla, it'd be very difficult to justify working with them. Empiricism and improved maneuver. Estate mission failed. Let's go call a new one. A new factory in Kef. Annex Taha. That's not going to happen. Or have a lot of power in the Ligurian Sea. It's doable, not going to lie. Did we make all the trade ships? We did, and we actually went over our limit too, which is not great. It's fine. Trade power is worth it. She has recently begun quarreling with one of her tutors. We will mediate, even though it takes away time from other things. What the hell is the Ligurian Sea even at? Oh, in Genoa itself. I see. We need 30% there. I don't know if we can do that. That'll be tough. What about a war, which we can't fight? We currently take 18. Yeah, we won't get to 30. All right. We've rebuilt all our relationships up with Ruthenia. We have a lot of trust with them and favors. Let's build up our trust with them more. For a little bit. Good. Was grinding the Martyr A1 in War Thunder. Nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, War Thunder is all about the grind. I do like playing it every once in a while, but I always end up just uninstalling it after it just gets kind of tedious, but it is a very fun game. Let's just build up our trust a bunch with Ruthenia. There we go. And then I'm going to, this disgusts me, and I hate to even say it aloud. I may puke. We're going to send a diplomat to France. I'm really just trying to avoid getting declared on right now while we rebuild. This is just like a glass cannon moment. Either we can rebuild by not getting attacked, or we're screwed. Castalla actually has like a fair bit of trust for us still. To us, to them though, we're just like a fly on the wall. Like we hate them and we view them as terrifying. They don't, to us, we're just like a weak little neighbor that they tolerate. It's a very different mindset from them, I think. I know, Tal. It disgusts me as well. I did throw up a little bit in my mouth when I said it, but we're gonna do it. $15 loans to go. Getting there. Yeah, the prestige is bad too. I gotta say, there's a worrying number of nobles and burghers in the capital suggesting working with Castalla right now. Many seem to have forgot what they have done to our ancestors. Worry not. House Torres does not forget. Our heir is making progress. She may not like it. But as long as she gets there in the end, that's all that matters. Thankfully, a lot of these loans we took were the burger loans, so like the interest is not killing us. That's like one of our big saving graces right now. Let's privatize the trade fleets. How many privileges am I willing to give to the burghers? I think we've given them enough. We've given them a lot. We've been called into war by Ruth. Oh, Jesus. Not going to look at it. We've been called into a war by Ruthenia. We'll march with them, of course. I will probably not send troops, though. I hate to say it. Until we get all of our loans paid off. I think we have forgotten about Tunisia and their ideas on religion. We're incredibly tolerant. They may be worshiping the Greek gods, but we just really don't not care. We abandoned the church when we were abandoned by the Papal States long ago. She will learn. The diplomat is being force-fed baguettes and weird pastries. True, true. I mean, I'm going to say it. That's a fate worse than death, really. Delicious pastries in a time when most food tastes bland. I mean, can you imagine the whore having fine dining and nice, large public thoroughfares, unlike our cramped capital city built onto a mountain? Truly terrifying. Just a reminder, Britain currently is undergoing, like, the plague right now. Like, a really late version of it. I think they should win this war. Bavaria's in it. Yeah, they're fine. We lost our admiral. Oh, our great admiral just died. The one who carried us through the 6-year war. What was his name? Komitovika. Everyone take a moment. There's currently an official ceremony underway in Sassari. Let's bring the fleet for this. I'm gonna unmothball it. He's too important in our lore. We're gonna bring the fleet to Sassari, and on the docks of our great, the dockyards of Sardinia, we are going to have a ceremony and funeral for the greatest admiral to ever command the fleets of Sardinia. What is his name? Komitovika. I think that was his name. He managed to defeat a navy 5 times his size on the Strait of Gibraltar. He fought overwhelming odds repeatedly throughout our history and throughout the 6-year war. Without him, we surely would have perished to the Castallans on sea. A great man and one of the greatest admirals in the history of Sardinia. We definitely need to build him a statue when we're not poverty-ridden in the capital, I think. Her Majesty the Queen Consort is, of course, a constant companion and good advisor in her own right. However, apart from that role, our Queen Consort is also represented to the crown from the Satani house. It's going to show their support for the throne. We're going to take the prestige and say no. We do not need their help. Our ancestors be damned. We need to think about the present. Do you realize how many of our ancestors had to die for this stupid grudge? I pity the Castallans, for they have to kill the people of a nation ruled by their distant kin. Someone has not read their history. It was them who have started all these wars. Bug on my light. That's a big fucker. I do respect the misremembering history out of convenience. You'd make a very good burger, Curse. Right. $12 loans to go. Scientific revolution. Ruthenia is dominating Eastern Europe. You love to see it. The Tsars of Ruthenia. I do love seeing them succeed. Their strength is our strength. I mean, they are, I think, the one ally that we can probably actually trust at this point. Oh shit, they landed an army. Hold on. What? All right, we actually have to pay our troops and send them west. Who the hell are you, Lusadia? Never heard of him. And our general died while he actually... Our army unmothballed and actually left like its camp it's been encamped in for like 4 years. And immediately its general died. Cyrus Ferrero Fiesco. Find a better advisor. The capital of Ukraine is currently Kiev. Yep. Yeah, I mean they're called Ruthenia, but this is Kiev. I mean this is like basically this game's Ukraine. They're in Kiev. They've even got the actual picture, which is fucking awesome. Oh, they're running. They're running. Well, we have achieved general recognition as the new Empire of China. Bona has? That was the colony the Ming founded. Well, we have achieved general recognition as the new Empire of China. We have yet to earn the respect of the Chinese people. This is the colony the Ming founded in Indonesia. Our great reliance on foreign, even uncivilized people in our army's administration is putting the mandate of our dynasty in question. The Chinese Empire has moved to Indonesia because the Chagatai Sunnis have conquered mainland China. Ming's about to die. So the colony of Bona, which was established by Ming in Indonesia, has declared themselves the new Empire of China. That is insane. And hilarious. And kind of cool as fuck, not gonna lie. They're not weak either. They've got 83,000 soldiers. There's 2 emperors officially. There's the mainland emperor. Oh no, he's a king now. Oh wow. King Bing Zhuao Zhu. And then in Bona, it's Emperor Poso. Yeah, he's Sulawese too, so he's not actually even Chinese. Asia's so crazy in this timeline, honestly. It's actually them. They're officially mechanically the Empire of China. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Wow. That is so cool, honestly. What's up, Zodi? Yeah, I'm gonna start doing more late streams. I'm just like way more mentally active, like later on in EST. And I realized recently there's actually not as many European people watching me as I thought, so I figured, fuck it. I'm just gonna start streaming later on weekends. So this will probably become quite common. Yeah, I just, my brain's really active from like 6 p.m. to like 3 a.m. for some reason. Damn it. I really want the Diplo advisor or the trade efficiency advisor. Yeah, Oman would be the one to go after. But before we do any of that, we have to stabilize, get rid of these loans and get the economy going. Jesus, fuck. Out of curiosity, I promise I won't do it. If we got a big army, we could actually theoretically ally Castalla. I don't know how to feel about that at all. That's the dark path, man. That's the dark side. That's the evil path. We could give away all of our history, ally Castalla, and just go on like a revenge path towards everyone else. Like work with our greatest enemy to destroy all of our other enemies. That's a terrifying timeline. I don't like that. I won't even pull that yet. I have to work through my emotions on that first. Fucking hell. It would be interesting for the campaign though. And honestly, there would be a lot of people in Sardinia starting to advocate that. It's been long enough from a major war where they've declared on us that many people would probably really forget what they've done, including our king. I mean, we fought the 6-year war with them, but we technically attacked them, right? Ooh, our heir is strict. We're gonna have a very strict queen, fuck yeah. We also lost our army advisor. Go Brigadier Loyalty. Go of, these are both shit too. I really did want to get some good advisors here. Try one more and I'll take one. Not make administration our focus anymore either. We need to get rid of one of our policies. We need both of them, not gonna lie, so we'll hold on to that. We are not taking any more advisors from Rome. We'll take that for now. Ruthenia is dominating in Eastern Europe. All right, we have good relations with France now too. You know what this is, and I hate this so much? We're not a threat anymore. You know why we can do this? You know why no one hates us anymore? We're not a power. We have no colonies. We have no armies. We have a strong navy, but that's it. We're just not a European player anymore, and that's why all these countries are like not hating us. That's worse. That's so much worse. Just mentally coming to terms with the fact that we're not a major player anymore. Oh. I will say, if we come back from this, my God, that would be fucking wild. Just go into the depths of irrelevance and weakness and come back. Oh, I want it, but that will be hard. Gonna check that. Yeah, we could ally France. There are Japanese troops in Norway right now. The Yusukai declared war on Norway. They're fighting Castalla and Norway. And I guess a fleet of Japanese ships have managed to land and do a naval invasion of Norway. I love how powerful Asia is in this game and in this grand campaign. It's so interesting. Just stuff that you just never would ever imagine just happening, you know. Asia's strong. They can contend Europe, really. That's really cool. Curse is a traitor. I like to think of him as a political agitator yelling on the street corner of Caesarea and no one listens to him. If anyone ever does, he's going to disappear in the night. Don't worry. Varia is the emperor now. HRE is still actually very powerful too. I just keep forgetting that they're still relevant. Wasn't that the name of the Mongol Empire in China? The Borgians, or who do you mean? You mean these guys or the Chagatai? There's two successor countries to the Mongols in this timeline. The Borgians are the direct descendants of Genghis Khan. They have not lost their dynasty. This is Genghis Khan's direct heirs. The Chagatai was another country that split off in CK3 when they collapsed. And they originally had all this land down here, and they managed to survive, and they've actually become the dominant power in Asia. They are insanely strong in their Sunni. Ironically, the Mongols are Orthodox Christians. The religious map in Asia is just wild. Confucianism is going to be almost entirely gone. It will really probably just be left in Indonesia by the end of things in Korea. Orthodox Christianity is dominant in Northern Asia. Mahayana Buddhism is just really everywhere because of how strong Paulus is, including southern China. Shinto has been spread a bunch to North America. Yeah. I didn't realize Somaliland is Nestorian. Then the Anglicans, of course. Arborea converted to Hellenism too when I wasn't looking. The Hellenic worship is literally like right next to the capital now. I will say, if we get an event where Caesarea goes Hellenic, I will consider converting to Hellenism. It's so crazy how it's just naturally happened through events. Yeah, Hinduism is very strong. Curse is going full out, huh? Do you feel the essence of weakness that's seeping into your soul? Feel this weakness more and realize that the reality of the situation, if you don't give up the grudge, then you and this nation will fall further and further into the annals of forgotten history, which will be glorified by Castalla as an act of kindness to save the people of Sardinia. Perhaps. Perhaps. We're not there yet. 6 loans to go. We are almost out of the woodwork here. That's just like recovery. And then we need to work on expansion. I'm going to keep running this economy and just completely build up all the buildings we can. I'm going to build up manufactories. We're going to hyper-industrialize. I'm going to build up all of our defensive buildings. I'm going to develop the great works that we have, which I think is probably just Napoli at this point. And then when all of that's done, we're going to work on hyper-building up our military, and we're going to go all in on some big wars. That's what the plan is here, by the way. I'm going to follow Veti Kings. Oh, thank you for the raid. What's up, man? How's it going, folks? I'm Hammurabae. I am a Paradox streamer, I guess would be the best way to put it. I do roleplay mainly, and I do casual stuff as well. This is the grand campaign. We are doing a campaign which goes through CK3, EU4, Victoria 3, Hoi 4, and Stellaris. We're in the EU4 phase. Things are going very badly. We were very strong, very powerful, and we got screwed in the colonial age. We had a ton of colonies in the Americas, but we have just been destroyed by rival powers, and we have 2 provinces left in the New World and just North Africa and the whole miles at this point. So this is our comeback moment, or really the end of this nation and dynasty. So what's up? Were you streaming EU4, man? What were you up to? Appreciate it. Yeah, it's kind of like the Meiji Restoration for Sardinia, I guess. Love EU4 Stellaris and CK3. Have not played Hoi 4 yet, for sure. Hoi 4 is very different. It's much more of a war game. Hell yeah. Yeah, EU4 was my love when I was young. I played it obsessively in high school and the beginning of college. And then I moved on probably, I'd say, to, I guess, Hoi 4 and to a lesser degree Stellaris. Very fun games. Pull an HRE Emperor and tag flipping as much as possible to stack bonuses. Oh, Jesus. You're going full out then. Just trying to get as strong as you can, I assume. Are you gonna go for a world conquest? I took a couple shots at those back in the day and I didn't succeed. I got pretty far once as, who was it? The Timurids, I think. It's not enough though. So tough. Yeah, no, if it's free. So the leading members of the government are deeply worried about some changes that were recently proposed to how the realm should be ruled. They demand a stop to such outrageous reforms and a return to our tried and trusted traditions. I assume these are probably the burghers wanting some form of statism and constitutionalism back. Naturally, they avoid mention of how the changes would impact their own power base. We're a lawgiver. Yeah, we're gonna talk to them behind closed doors and get them to shut this down. Yeah, if you're doing Iron Man, definitely go for it. Pulling cannon into space, hell yeah. Yeah, so you're on. Thank you for the raid, man. Timurids and Total War are a ton of fun. They're a lot of fun in EU4, actually. I've done a few campaigns with them. Researchers have published several works with radical thesis, which could prove destabilizing if widely disseminated. Should we opt for the easy path of obscurism or suppress this knowledge? We'll deal with it. We are very much cutting edge, so we would want to try and do what we can against it. That Iron Man? Fair. That Fallen Eagle campaign I started earlier, I realized when we ended, I actually started as an Iron Man game, so that'll be fun. We get game overed, we get game overed. More loans. More loans left. Oh, we are close. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And before it, 5 more tunnels, but that's fine. We went with dynamic court, more advisors. You've never seen a Seleucid Empire playthrough that you've liked? Really? How come? Anfa is no longer a core. We've actually managed to develop good relations with basically everyone around us. We'll do the fat mids next too. Like, we have good relations with every major power in Europe now. Again, partly because we're just not viewed as a threat, I think. Sure. We can bail you out. Absolutely. Like I said, we'd bury a body for the king of Bithynia, or I should say the Tsar. Money is no problem. How many favors did we get with him for that? 16, Ben. I think 2 actually, because I want to say we had like 14 before that. Probably not worth it. Oh, another statement from that madman in Caesarea yelling at the palace. My king, perhaps it's possible, but the chance is not something that would guarantee the safety of the kingdom. We have lost our empire. We've already lost our pride. The pride we hold of revenge against Sardinia is nothing but a denial of rejecting reality, which is nothing but a foolish and act of idiocy. I expect that you are not a fool or an idiot. If you are, then please, my lord, take a step into the future and leave the backward past behind. I hear a lot of disloyalty. I hear a lot of traitors right now. That's all I hear. Either we will rebuild the empire into its glory once more, or we will fall into the annals of history. There is no middle ground for us, for the House of Torres. It's one or the other. Building wise, what do we want to focus on when we get the last of these loans paid off? Probably manufactories, I'd say. No, we really can't build that many. I'll probably have to develop too to increase building slot max. We have so few provinces. Do all the trade power stuff. We'll build up some naval batteries. We can build some state houses. Taking so many of these at this point. Absolute government. Yep. That's about where we're at generally. Castalla has proclaimed themselves as the economic hegemon. We had the first hegemon of the game. Damn. They are so strong. I agree, JV. I think a good tarring and feathering would do him a lot of good. Maybe some time in the pillory too. What caused their aggressiveness and paranoia with the sharp decline of the country and sheer desperation? That's true. You can't blame the madmen. We have lost so much. Does our income stack up compared to everyone else? I'm curious. Oh god, it is very low. Look at Castalla's income. I agree. Yeah, I mean, we are moving towards industrial revolution earlier, I think, than most others, because we took that one reform. Where is it? Industrial sector. Yeah, Spain is very, very strong. We paid off our loans. The 9,000 ducat debt from these recent wars is finally paid off. We are in the green. We can actually start investing now and building and repairing our kingdom. That's a big moment. Start with our manufactories. We're going to develop a bunch too, I think. Our voyages through the strange waters with ill-prepared ships mean that the wood is decaying faster than expected. Fuck it, pay it. I like the duality of the king/dynasty, where they are skirting the edge of tyranny and cruelty, but are also very reformist. Yeah, we used to just be tyrants. If you remember at the end of CK3, the like Lysandro and then Cipriana, and then what was the one after? I always forget his name. It would be. They were tyrants. Well, the current royal family, they're like kind of tyrannical, but they're also like very modern, because we've had like huge political reform before a lot of our people did. We're very religiously tolerant, so it's a very odd kind of culture, I think, really, for our country and for our royal family at this point. I'm trying to think of like a historical example of what a royal family like that might be. The Swedish royal family for a little while there. That's kind of comparable, I guess. Not a lot of royal families like that, to be honest. They tend to be pretty old school. We're going to develop instead. Citrus is very valuable. Elephants are fairly valuable. Olives are very valuable. Saffron's very valuable. We want to look at the cost here, though. We've already developed all our provinces so much. We're not going to get any trading and bonuses, so we just really have to look on income and goods produced for valuable goods. Naval supplies are good because if we get more of those, we also get more ship limits. We're going to develop the hell out of Urano. I think that's what we're going to do here. Nope. A lot of produced goods. Should jump our production income. Yes. Yes, we need a strong land army. I'm going to build up all our buildings. I'm going to build up everything we can first, and then we're going to really max out our army and our navy. We're just banking on the goodwill of all these big powers that we've cultivated these diplomatic ties with. Soundtrack am I playing now? Hold on. Not bad, but from the same one. Alexander II of Russia. Yeah, I could see that. Peter the Great. I could see that, except like our leader's not nearly as great. I can tell you that. Yeah, I mean, there's specific kings and emperors you could look at too as an example. I was just trying to think of more of like a royal family that developed a culture like that, and really nothing is coming to mind, to be honest. Fat mids we've maxed out our relations with. Oh, we're not going to upgrade the Palace in Napoli, not yet. Playlist do I want to play next? Fuck it, I'm gonna play this one. Oh man, another curse message. Since the nobles of this nation don't want to hear what I have to say or even consider it, then the peasants of this beautiful nation will save this country from falling into the darkness of the past. It's time we must take a step towards the future and leave the nobles behind if we can't take him. The king has been possessed by demons of the past. My ancestors told me the kings of Sardinia were generous, kind, and helped the people when it was needed, but now I see that's not the case. I do feel like we might have a Castallan spy, a Cuban pirate spy, or a French spy here. I do think you might need to take an extended trip to the dungeons of Cesare there, Curse, I'm gonna be honest. Money. All right, let's build more manufactories. Build all the way down to Orberia. When we also have done up all the building that we have and maxed out our military, if we have excess income, I'm going to put that, I think, into really high advisors too. This is one part of EU4 I really don't like. By the middle of the campaign and the grand campaigns in EU4, I'm always like kind of min-maxing, and I hate that I have to do that. I mean, I don't have to. I could just like stagnate and let us die off, but I'm really trying to not have that happen. I want to play, yeah, sure. I'll play it once. YouTube algorithm won't kill me for that. It is a very fitting song for the state of this campaign at this point, I'd say. A little radical there, Curse. Around again. It's been a minute. There has been no strategy campaign that has made me as mentally exhausted as this one has in a long time. And I really like that. That's what I love about strategy games. When you get desperate and you have to come up with options, it's so fun. Even if it's just a skill issue. This is why I don't understand why people play Paradox games and just like make themselves so powerful they can't lose. Like my greatest campaigns and like the most fun I have in Paradox games are when I allow myself to get like shit on like this and I try and come back from it, man. Like that's the most fun in Paradox games. It's frustrating, it's exasperating, it's rough. You don't do it sometimes, but it is, I think, the most fun you have in strategy games. Because if we actually come back from this, even if we lose, it's a good ending to House Torres, not gonna lie. You keep saying skill issue, but I would have restarted a long time ago. Also, there's no fun playing a game where there's no challenge. Yeah, true, exactly. Since the invention of the printing press, more and more books about an ever wider range of subjects have been published. We can now see the benefits of this, since knowledge spreads faster and more ideas are appearing amongst our philosophers and natural scientists. Fantastic. Build a... No, actually, I'm not going to build cathedrals. We're not religious enough to do that. I know it's income, but that doesn't make RP sense, to be honest. Where can we expand? We're going to try and fight in Italy when we rebuild. And then from there, even failing that, we're going to go into Southern Africa. And then we're going to go towards Asia. Asia's our last shot. That's it. Like, we've got one pathway out of that. And that's that we got to get colonies in Asia. And we have to get powerful there. I'm also trying to get us strong enough that we can get an ally with one of these big powers. Which we need a big military for. What if we go focus on Italy instead of Asia? No, that's the other place we are going to focus on. But who do we have to fight to get land in Italy? Let's take a quick look at it. One, the Papal States. Alone, doable. They are allied with Bavaria. They're the emperor. They have 400,000 soldiers. They're allied with Norway. 100,000. Their colonies got another 100,000. And then I believe they had a guarantee. They may not anymore. No, they were war. Never mind. So yeah, that's around 700,000, 800,000 soldiers if you're going to fight them. Or we have Castalla, who alone has 600k. They're allied with Lithuania, who has another 200. They're allied with Norway, who has another 200. So, like, to get anywhere there, the amount of people we have to fight is just obscene. So that's the big reason. We're gonna do some fun songs. I'm gonna play one more fun song here. It's a long one. Let me know if anyone actually recognizes what this is from. We are in Italy technically, so I'll play this. Are we sinners or cynical? Because we could be building them for the cash and not the religious aspect. We could, but I think RP wise it makes sense that like we wouldn't even be like giving the zoning permits for it. Not that zoning permits existed in 1686, but you know what I mean. Who are our current allies? Ruthenia. That's it. Ruthenia is the only nation who's actually honored their alliances and stayed with us in EU4. Ooh, Sweden's getting screwed here. When we rebuild our army, we rebuild our navy after this little period here, I'm going to try and get us an ally with Byzantium. I really want to try and get one with them, or Bavaria. So we'll see. That's the plan. And then we could maybe start some massive conflicts in Europe and go after Italy. Things we really need. Great in Corsica. Recall correctly, the church abandoned the country. Yeah, we had a huge falling out with the Papal States around 120 years ago, and our whole country, RP-wise, became very anti-religious. It's why we have all these heathens in our country, and we don't try and convert them. We're fairly tolerant. I think a lot of that was probably out of spite, mainly from our royal family and then the statists, because the burgher statists took power and played them kind of like, I guess, the Cromwellians. Not that religious, really. So we've had kind of some odd events that have resulted in this situation. We still may go Hellenic. Like I said, if Sassari somehow becomes Hellenic, I will convert. Arbory is Hellenic. Tunis went Hellenic. I think we have one other somewhere too. Maybe not. We'll see. That's Europa Universalis from Paradox Easy. What's up, Memphis? How do you mean? I'm gonna build up all our trade buildings. Then I'm gonna probably build up universities a bunch of different places. I won't spam them. Again, this is still an RP campaign, so I'll build them a few places with high development. And then we'll see what else we can build. Like cavalry? We're gonna be fighting purely defensive, so I think we're gonna probably go for Latin Hussars. And then we'll go for Grinzer Infantry. We may fight offensive battles in the future, but I foresee us doing a lot more defensive for now, so we'll do that. Can't believe Hellenic is still around in the 17th century. Zodi, we had these events in EU4 where like we had it was because the clergy were really unpopular, I think they fired, and we had that falling off with the papal states. And then we got a couple of these pop-up events where it basically said that our people were so disenfranchised with Catholicism during the Renaissance and then the Protestant Reformation that they were just going into new religions. So I think one of them actually went into like one of the like the Mayan religions, and then two went to Hellenic in Tunis and then in Arborea. Yeah, no, it was cool. It was just events. I don't know if that came from vanilla EU4 or if it's one of those event packs I added on. Not too sure. No idea. I think all these buildings are bugged from what I've seen. I've tried to do them a few times. Yep. Then we'll go for print culture. We get institution spread very quickly now, but given there's not many of those left, it's not probably the most useful. I mean, how many do we have left? Yeah, 2, literally. All right, free diplomats. Let's keep all these major powers liking us so they don't invade. Diplomacy is actually like doing the work that I had hoped it would. I'm really surprised this is working. Again, it's only working because we just have nothing people really want, essentially. I'm actually interested in how the Catholic Church / Pope would spin the falling out between the Sardinian people. Yeah, because it was interesting. In CK3, a bunch of our kings actually were friends with the popes, like in the mechanics of CK3. They literally, like, one of the popes I remember, like one of our greatest kings, like just literally went fishing with him all the time. So like the history between Sardinia and House Torres with the Grand Campaign and the Pope, the papacy, it was incredibly good and close for a long time. So that falling out was pretty wild in the context of the history of the game. Plague. We'll give funds. We have it. And the last trait our King and Bruiser did get is careful. He's also 54 now. Careful. So it's just a bunch of wealthy trading families that practice Hellenism. Essentially, yeah, that's kind of how we did it in the RP. Tunis was like a big trading hub, so we basically said when that popped up in Tunis that like the Hellenic faith had been taken on as kind of like almost like, you know, a fad by like the nobles and the burgher families and the wealthy people there. And it just caught on with the local people. I mean, given this was Carthago back in the day, right? So yeah, a lot of, like the way I've spun it, I think in the RP, the context of the game, the burghers are dominant even after we pushed them out of power. And when the royal family took back power around 30 years ago, they're still so dominant, right? And I'm doing this on purpose because I want them to be dominant in the RP. But most of them are like they're either not religious, they're very irreligious Christians, or they're other faiths. So like a lot of Hellenic traders, and we also have probably a lot of like traders from who have religions from the New World, because a lot of those guys were working with the pirates and stuff. So yeah, very irreligious burghers. Oh my god, Curse is still yelling at the clouds. Oh man. Thank you for the follow, Big Game Bargain Hunter. It's almost 10 p.m. already? Hold on. When did that happen? Oh my gosh. All right. I may go late, we'll see. I'm just gonna keep playing until I just lose energy. We gotta really start getting through the grand campaign. I'm not gonna rush anything. I'm not gonna just go crazy with it, but we got a long ways to go, folks. We got Vic 3, we got Hoi 4, which I do want to actually play out for a good number of sessions. I'm gonna probably run R56 on it. And then we've got Stellaris, so we have a long ways to go. And I'm in no rush, but it's been already like 7 months, so. I think the way I'm gonna start planning these, because I plan to probably stream and do these, regardless of where I go in life, for probably, I'd say, a couple decades. I don't see myself really stopping doing these. I think I'm gonna start planning the grand campaigns for really just like a whole year thing, because I really try not to rush it. And I think just taking it slow and focusing on like the, you know, what happens is better. So I thought I'd be able to do these every 6 months, but it's looking more like 8 months to a year each. I mean, I could run at max speed and we could just rush through these, but there's no point in doing that with roleplay, even light roleplay. That is a big chunk of time, though. All right, we'll do the rest of these. What's up, Vambi? Good evening. I started it in August. I took a break until January, and then I've been going again since January. I only did, I think, maybe like 5 or 6 sessions in August, and then I picked it back up, and I think around January. The military ideas of Dejira, that's our wife. Throughout her life spanning back to her time in Corsica, Dejira has developed a good grasp on military strategy, enabling her to participate in many discussions on the topic. Yeah, she has like a leader trait, doesn't she? Yeah, inspiring leader. Her senses are clearly governed by reason, while her ideas are often concerned the troops as a whole, and out of best care for the men themselves. For the human being behind the warrior's mask. This has led to our generals often holding the thoughts of the queen consort in high regard. Check the M's. Boy, you want me to read that, Tall? All right, hold up. I'll do a reading. Tall just gave me a write-up, an RP write-up. I'll read it out really quickly. The dead is gone, is whispered in the Sardinian capital. To the streets and royal court throughout the castle and hovels, almost everyone has gotten news except for one person you might not expect. Ambrosio has been kept from hearing about the debt for a few days. He walks through the hell in a trance-like state. The stone walls of the castle were built like the structures of heaven he could imagine. Is our king like hallucinating? Is that what this is? The only other soul in the hall was a servant boy scrubbing the walls. He had no idea he was kneeling next to the king. The king began to speak, startling the young boy. Years is what my mind is on. How many years have I been alive? How long has my family been alive? How long does it have left? The boy was startled, but thought of His Majesty's words. He responded, the death of a family is a rare occurrence normally. It's the death of a family member that is often. He stressed the word member as he felt it was needed, and he immediately and profusely apologized as he thought it was threatening. The king didn't say anything. He instead knelt down on his old knees and began to scrub the walls with the boy. Although startled by this act, the boy decided to scrub with him. Oh boy. He is old as shit now, isn't he? Fuck. Sick. It was a lull in the song. Thought the music stopped working. Is he the type to do that? Lawgiver, loose lips, and careful. I can see it. He'd be very reflective, I suppose. I mean, he's ruled for what? Around 30 years now. He hasn't started a single war. He's actually, is he going to be the only monarch who's actually oversaw like a period of no war? Have we had any other who's done that? I'm trying to think. For anyone who's watched this grand campaign for a while, were there any other kings who actually did not like get declared war on or start a war? Because he inherited this war technically, right? The one that we did have. You just started writing blacked out? Fair. I don't think we've actually had another king who's actually oversaw an era of peace like this. That's wild. Even in CK3. I think every one of our kings fought wars or were declared war on. I'm saying that we're about to get declared war on by Castalla, of course, but still. Our generous policies allowing people more freedom of speech have created a fertile breeding ground for promising new ideas. Some of the prominent new thinkers might become great men who will eventually leave our nation with a lasting legacy of intellectual growth. We have a very good statesman who will definitely take him in a little bit. I'm going to pick up the last of this. All this trade power helps. Yeah, no, Abruzzo is fairly peaceful. Out of necessity, but I think out of personality too, from the look of him. Very careful, lawgiver. And he is a kind of a tyrant, though. That's the thing, right? To be clear, he's very absolutist. Actually, not as much as I thought. Only 14. There's always been some discrepancy between religion actually taught and defended by the clergy and the actual faith of the people in the provinces. Most of the time, the differences are small enough that the clergy chooses to ignore them to instead focus on reinforcing the more orthodox spiritual ideas of the people. It seems, however, that certain ideas that are quite unorthodox if rooted in old traditions have begun to spread together with the Catholic faith among our non-Catholic subjects. The resulting mix of old heathen ideas, popular superstitions, and the actual Catholic faith itself have become too much for the clergy to stomach, even if it seems to have made conversion a much more attractive proposition for our heathen subjects. I mean, we're very tolerant, so we won't really care about that. Every tyrant has been Torres has been a tyrant. Well, I have one counter example to that. Judek Andrea. Judek Andrea, I don't think he was a tyrant. He's just... What? That was... He was 600 years ago, so it's been quite a while. Another stock market crash, another Black Thursday. We're gonna guarantee the banks. We have the money for it this time. We're gonna bail out the banks. The Fannie Mac of Cesario was just bailed out. It's fine. Go Yaya Limi. Reduce that construction cost. Did I just see a Hellenic advisor? Oh my god, we have Hellenic advisors. They're in our court now, it seems. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, all of our administrative advisors are they're a bunch of different religions. That's cool. He was half tyrant. I don't know. Do you remember Andrea? He was so diplomatic, remember? Like, he literally just made friends with all the other Jediks on the island of Cesare, and he managed to stay alive literally by just befriending all the other Jediks, as well as the Pope. And we only fought a war because didn't that guy like kill our brother or plot to kill our brother or something? He was not a tyrant. I wouldn't consider Andrea a tyrant, the first of our line. The spirit of paganism. Sorry, music died. The spirit of paganism remains strong in Europe. Both diplomatic and aggressive attempts at Christianization failed to achieve religious unity on the continent. Thus, the religious pressure, while going both ways, is constantly affecting the mentality of Christian man. Disillusioned with the church's teachings, displeased with corruption of the holy, or just finding pagan doctrines such as polygamy or encouragement of personal wealth attractive, are all stimulating weak-spirited men to move away from Christ. Napoli just became Hellenic. Whoa. It's growing. Go of defensive mentality as well. We now have 3 Hellenic provinces in Sardinia. Oh. All right, what else do we really want to build at this point? I'm just going to try and build state houses in as many provinces as we can. We're trying to centralize our bureaucracy. I don't know if state houses are actually useful in the context of the game. I mean, reduced autonomy looks useful, but given we're trying to centralize underneath an absolutist king again, right? I think that makes a lot of sense. No, the Pope will not like it. Just a reminder, Napoli was the one province we took from the Papal States in our recent war of them, and it's just become heathen. I'm sure Pope Albercio II is yelling very loudly at his aides in Rome right now. God damn it, Saul. There was a reason the Pope hates us. We literally spread paganism to mainland Italy. He's frothing at the mouth and red in the face. True. Another war of Ruthenia? We'll, of course, come to their aid. They're fighting with Bavaria. I think they'll be fine. Man, if we could form like a tripart pact with like Ruthenia and Bavaria, we'd actually be very powerful in mainland Europe. It's just that they're allied with the Papal States. Are we rivaled with them? We are. Hear me out. We unrival the Papal States. Not because we don't dislike them and still want their territory, but as a show of disrespect. To suggest that Rome is no longer of any danger to Sardinia. They are, obviously, but, you know, they can't beat our fleet. We could unrival the Papal States purely as a diplomatic insult. Their army would destroy us, but their navy can't touch us. We could work with the Bavarians if we do that. We'll do that when we rebuild our army. We're not quite there yet. As much as I would like to insult them and work with Bavaria, I don't think we're there quite yet. Let's keep building state houses, or town halls, I should say, actually. A town hall for every province in Sardinia. We'll do that when we've fully built up our army and navy. After we've done all these reforms, we'll do that as a show of disrespect. I don't think we're quite there militarily. How much longer are you going to stream? That's a good question. I'll be honest, from the hours of 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is when I have the most energy typically. So I don't know. Maybe a couple more hours. I don't mind a late stream right now. I'm really enjoying the grand campaign, and I really wanted to like, start getting through the rest of EU4, so we may actually do pretty late streams here. Warriors do not read books. With the war taking the focus of every capable and productive person in the nation. Hell, the one that we're not fighting in. There's a lot less time for frivolous activities of musicians and poets, and even the best a poet is no better a soldier than a common farmer. Byzantium, why won't you love me? Okay, I'll leave it here until someone figures it out. Tell me what's weird about this right now. There's something on the screen right now that's really weird. Can anyone figure out what it is? And absolutely fucking wild. Can anyone figure out the absolutely crazy thing? Yes. Genghis Khan's descendants are currently ruling the Byzantine Empire. I didn't realize that. Oh my god. I mean, to be fair, they did annex and destroy the Byzantine Empire in this timeline. It took them 200 years to reunite it. It must have been a member of like the post-Ilkhanate Anatolikon family who was actually a Genghis Khan descendant. So the winner of the Greek Warring States period in this timeline was the fucking heirs of Genghis Khan. That is wild. Oh my god, that is insane. All right, yeah, I'll show the dynasty map mode. That's just ridiculous. They rule in Mordvinia as well? How many places do the heirs of Genghis Khan rule? They rule in Borjin. I don't know how to say that. They rule in Byzantium. They rule in Mordvinia. They rule anywhere else. Thessalians rule in France again. That's that family that we knocked off the HRE emperorship when we tried to get our family on the throne and failed. Albertingi. Why is that name familiar? Tingi. Who is in charge? Who's ruling England? Albertingi. Why do I know that name? That's an Italian family. Guys, instead of this timeline being the German royal family ruling in England, it's an Italian royal family. They are a subfamily of the Bonifacio family. This is the Medicis! What? No way. This is an offshoot of the Medici family. A cadet branch of the Medicis are the emperors of Britannia. I mean, historically, the Medicis, like technically, their family went into the French royal family. That's fucking crazy. God damn. Hold on, I've not been looking at the dynasty map. We need to have a look around real quick. See if there's any other crazy fucking things like this. I mean, so Torture Guadiato, just a reminder, that's a cadet branch of the Torres royal family. So the pinnacle world superpower is from our dynasty, just a reminder. I know we forget that at times. Orsilio, I need to fix. I did the save edit wrong. That's Torres still. Thessalians rule in Lombardy too, wow. Sigurd or Bjarki are from the... Someone told me that's from Ragnar's line. I don't know if that's true or not. The Lithuanian royal family is going to found a university in the USA one day. I know that for sure. Take a look around Asia real quick. Shimoto, the Yusa guy. Britain is Anglican. Anglican, Medici, Britain. They're very strong too. Von Luxembourg's rule in Toulouse. That's a weird one. So I'm missing anyone else here. Billungs. That name's familiar too. Who are the Billungs? Yeah, Fadman's colonized a lot in this timeline. Billung Dynasty. That's a Saxon royal family. All right, that's from the right place. Probably still the same one, I think. Wow. We had one of our dynasties in Greece for a while too. Athens was a Torres family. We established that in the Holy War, but they got destroyed during the Greek Unification Wars. We tried to save them and we couldn't. Oh, that was rough. I remember that. That was when we got stack wiped in Crimea too, of our whole army. Wasn't that Kypriana? Man. All right. I'm good. That's wild. Yeah, there's some crazy things dynastically in this game. The Lysandrists. That checks out. I feel like Lysandro definitely would have flirted with fascism if he was alive in that time period. For sure. Oh yeah. Alright. Back onto things. I'm going to start drilling our army now. We have a bit of extra money. When the local nobility in Cagliari has so upset and mistreated his subjects that a delegation of peasants has come before the king to ask for redress. Agreeing to this would be popular to peasantry, would be seen as infringement on the authority by the nobility. To be fair, our relationship with the nobility has always been bad, and they're very weak. So we're going to side with the people. And piss them off. You know, I also have not done it all. I haven't upgraded our trade centers. I always forget that that's a thing in EU4 now. Sometimes my lack of EU4 knowledge in the current state is so clear. We'll need to upgrade all these. Naples is one. Oh, that's the Genoa trade node, isn't it? Oh, we can turn Naples into a global center of trade. That would be really good. Yeah, let's definitely focus on that. State house there too. I'm going to save up and we're going to upgrade to World Trade Center. Oh, because we're in a war. Is it 1,000 for World Trade Center? I think it is, right? Or is it 2,000? Alrighty. Yeah, Napoli is actually going to be way bigger for trade than I thought it would. Oh my god. The pirates have 300 trade power in Genoa. Is there any way to figure out who's sending the pirates? Does anyone know? It's hilarious. We can also upgrade the Royal Palace of Caserta. If we max it out, we'll get reform, growth, progress, governing capacity, and prestige. It's not too bad. Hover over the trade share. Okay. I assume it's probably the Papal States. No, they already... It wouldn't be them. Who would it be? Byzantium! That's why we keep getting trade casus bellis on Byzantium. The Byzantines have taken to piracy. I mean, they are ruled by literally a descendant of Genghis Khan, so that does check out a bit, doesn't it? I feel like he'd be very pro-piracy if he lived in these times, you know? Many join the ranks of our Navy expecting a more exciting life awaiting them with this opportunity to leave their home behind and see sea and land beyond Sardinia. Not all of these are prepared for the often harsh and even more often dull and boring life at sea. Stuck with endlessly repetitive tasks, food, and company on longer journeys, many young sailors quickly regret their decision. Dismissed as daydreaming landlubbers, while their more seasoned crewmates, they quickly become more trouble than they're worth. Some might eventually grow used to this reality of the job and become useful, but others do not and return home. Yeah, we've got plenty. The nobles and burghers would probably be split on their feeling towards him, but the peasants may like and the military would like him. I feel like Lysandra and Victory would have the support of the landowners, the petite bourgeoisie, the armed forces, and maybe even the rural folk. It was a religious war. Are they purging Protestants? Let's look at the religious map properly. We haven't done that in a while. There is still Norse, by the way, up here. There's Norse in Trøndelag, and then there's Norse in Åland. The rest is Protestant. Tengri is still left over from Vladimir before they fell. That was around 100 years ago, I think. Anglican, Britain. Orthodox, Byzantium. Shia Fatimids. Nestorian, Somalia. Hindu, India. We know most of it. Hindi from all the colonization. It's going to be a Hindu Australia. That's wild. Ion's still kicking. Shinto's still everywhere, though I'm sure the Catholics are just converting the hell out of them. Yeah, true. Yeah, Jewish is still left around in the lower, in Axum and stuff. That makes sense. Judaism is there. When did we go Protestant if we had a falling out at the same time as the Reformation? It happened after the fact. So our falling out with the Pope happened at like the end of the Reformation. In the beginning, we were very close allies with the Pope. For a long time, the clergy was actually dominant. I gave the clergy basically all their privileges, and they were just dominant in our government forever. So at the time, we were very big part of the Counter-Reformation. We fell out with them at kind of like the end of I think it was the end of the Protestant reforms, something like that. Happened a lot later on. All right, we built up a ton of money. Let's build the rest of the town halls. I actually do. State maintenance, that's good. Autonomy reduction, fantastic. And then province and governing cost, that's huge. This actually is really good for our economy, I think. I don't know if it's meta or not, but it is giving us benefits. Then when we're done with that, is there anything else we really want to build? We'll build up all the training fields. We'll build up all the dry docks. I think that's about it at that point. A couple universities. And then at that point, we're going to build up the military. We'll have done literally everything we can with what we have left. And then we just have to all in into military. And advisors, of course, too. When we get heavy frigates, I'm also going to upgrade our whole trading fleet. Those are frigates there for trade, right? Yes. Actually, we already need to upgrade most of them. I'll wait, though. That'll up our trade a bunch more. If we combine that with a world trade port in Napoli, we might actually get close to getting dominance in the Genoa trade node. That would be so big. The income we would get off that would just be ridiculous. And we have loans left to pay those off. Okay, I think we can start thinking about our next war. It's been a long time, I know, but I think this is the first time I've had this long of a peaceful period in all of EU4 by quite a lot. It's been quite nice, but we can't let this continue. We need to rebuild. We got an alliance with Bavaria. And we declared war on Tuscany. We could pull in the Papal States and fight a war with them. That is doable. We'd have to fight the French and the Papal States. A successful war there would theoretically allow us to take land in Italy from the Papal States and take land in probably like Florida or the 13 colonies from the French. That would be a very good war to fight and win. Heavy frigates. We'll take measuring the New World too. Oh, our wife died. The Queen Consort has died, Dejira. It's a shame. King Ambrosio is 58. He will not be around for much longer. Our heiress, who will be the queen, is Asada Torres, and she is strict, a 424. Not fantastic, but not bad either. Culture map mode. That's a good question. Let's say it's this one. Culture, culture, culture. Did I just go over it? Political. Yes. French. Iberian. Castillo Barana. So remember, in the CK3, the Iberian struggle actually resulted in reconciliation. So Castalla is actually kind of a combination of like the Taifa and all the different Muslim culture in Iberia, and then the Christian culture. They are Catholic, but they did combine a lot of those cultures into their own, including Andalusian. Italian, which we're a part of. Germanic, Slavic. Oh, Scottish up in Cumbria, or down in Cumbria, I should say. Uralic. Crick. The hell is that? Ordovinian? Or I'll look that one up real quick. I have never heard of that. Urals, I guess. So probably like really far east. No! Uralic is a language with a language family of 38 million spoken people. Really? Northern Asian Europe. The language is spoken from northern Scandinavia to western Siberia, including the Finnish language. Huh, okay. Did not know that. What's up, Riddick? Hungarian, Dalmatian. They are still Greek culture. It's a Greek culture heir of Genghis Khan. That's so funny. He got Hellenized, I guess. Turco-Persian. Romo. There's just like any really wild, interesting stuff real quick. Really? All right, it's China. Okay, they colonized up there. China's just a mess. Look at that. I wonder if we're gonna get Uyghur. Oh man, there's some bud words. China's gonna pick that up. Uyghur Beijing, we might, because Chagatai I think is primarily Uyghur culture. I think they are. Where's their capital? Let's go check. Now I'm curious. Jesus Christ, they're so big. We're gonna be looking forever. Is there a way just to find a country's capital automatically? Yeah, I always click on the flag. No, their primary culture is Turco-Kaburan. Kaburan? Oh my god, their capital's in Central Asia, and they rule in China. And Eastern Europe. Oh my gosh, they've gotten up to Novgorod. I didn't notice that. It's terrifying. Chagatai is like Thanos in this fucking timeline, I think. They're inevitable. And Zili Chinese culture down there in Indonesia, which has declared themselves the new Chinese empire. Umbrian Argentina, beautiful. Greek Southern Argentina, Egyptian Chile, gotta love that. Sardinian Central Brazil, or I guess what would that be? Bolivia? Something like that. Greek Brazil. Frankie in Northern Brazil. Andalusian Venezuela. Sardinian Cuba. Hell yeah. They may have taken it from us, the pirates, but it's still Sardinian. Japanese Northern Mexico, Japanese California, Japanese Western Canada, Norwegian Quebec, Norwegian Great Lakes. Yeah, that's almost like real life, really. Sea to Shining Sea, no kidding. Krillion's part of it, I got it, for sure. What's up, what the? You really gonna talk right now? It's 4:20 a.m. What the? I'm up at a reasonable hour. You're not. You're the unreasonable person here right now. Okay. switch the song. Yeah, I'll probably go another 40 minutes or so. I think I'm going to call it 11. You woke up 4 hours ago? Fair. Are you in Eastern Europe or in Asia, Curse? Or do you just work a night shift in the US or something? Supply chains? We're almost done with defensive ideas. Asia, for sure. What part are you in, if you don't mind me asking? I don't know if I've ever asked before. Go to 12? Probably not. I am getting a little tired now. Tiny bit. We've actually managed to build up Sardinia solidly today. I'm very happy with it, though. Pirates have struck our shipping again, breaking all their former agreements with us. No surprise. Okay, what do we still have to do? I'm going to build up the training fields. And then we're going to build the last of the town halls. When we're done with the last of the town halls, we're going to build up all of our fortresses. No. We probably should. Yeah, we'll build up those. Some of them, not all. We'll build the naval batteries. And then we're going to be good. What happens with Sardinia's collapse 2 years ago? Well, we still technically collapsed. We have no colonies left, but our diplomacy in mainland Europe has actually allowed us to not get attacked for, I think, probably around 50 years now. It's the longest period of peace. I know in EU4, potentially, I think even in the Grand Campaign's history, I don't know if we've actually been at peace longer than this ever. This won't come again either, I don't think, for a long time, because we're going to go total war here. If we want to take back our empire, we're going to have to fucking fight for it. So, ooh, Austria showed up. Nice. Not a Habsburg, though. We may be weak compared to many other Western powers in Europe, but we are so developed. I mean, by the time we're done, and Abruzzo has done this all in his lifetime, we are literally going to have hyper-developed trading hubs in every region of the kingdom. We're going to have town halls built in every single province of the kingdom. We'll have universities in most of the major cities. We'll have manufactories built in almost every province, so we're hyper-industrialized. We may be small, but we are very technologically and very economically advanced for what we are. Yeah, we never did get that control in Lagodoro, did we? Or in the Ligurian Sea, rather. How close were we to that? Long ways out. Fair. One thing I've also been very surprised about is the royal family has actually managed to hold on to most of the land, like the estate land, throughout the whole game. I don't normally manage to do that when I play EU4. How much is it to upgrade? 1019. We'll do that. We have 1.9% inflation then. Yeah, not too bad. This chat's been your home for almost 2 years now. Yeah, it's been a long time. What I was just thinking about that recently, about how long I've actually been streaming now. Importing iron. I've read this one 100 times, so we'll just go ahead and import from Hesse. We'll make this real simple. We grew up together, Zach. Yeah, what the you? I mean, you're in your formative years, so that is true. Yes. I can never say no to Ruthenia. I want to upgrade that trading hub, but I can't say no to Ruthenia. Not after what they've done for us. If Tsar Mikhailo Wagrishi asked to screw the Princess of Sardinia, would I say yes? I don't know, but we'd consider it, given what his people have done for us. We'd probably consider it. Probably. I remember when you were a kid, or like 24. Yeah, true. A few years ago. An excellent naval officer has come to our attention, one who shows not only mastery of the art of war, but also the ability to pass on the knowledge to others. How should we make use of this remarkable talent? Maybe he's a good admiral. Is that him? Yamavico? He's related to Camino Vico then. He is very much not as good as his ancestor though. We can form a coalition against the pirates, but I don't really want to at this point. Anti-clericism. The burghers of several prominent cities are accusing the clergy of being greedy and indolent. The pious commoners are now withholding the tithe in a protest against a particularly bad example of misuse of the authority of the clergy. Pious burghers are now objecting to paying tithes to the clergy as they consider them unfit to receive them. The clergy are furious and demanding that we obstinate the burghers. I don't think so. I think we're going to do that. We have to state Campania first. Can we do that? Yes. Actually, I haven't done states in a long time. And then we'll upgrade to a world port in Napoli. How many places can we actually make into states right now? There's a screen for this somewhere. Most of the developed areas are stated at this point. Sus isn't. We'll add one more. Yes, Naples is Hellenic. They converted. We'll build the universities next. Instead of paying cash to the nobles, another option is to grant them privileges to protect special revenues. Absolutely not. We are not giving away tariff rights to the nobles. No. Under no circumstance will that be happening. All right. The estates are all part of the country. As king, it's important to guide them for the national interest, making them compete for our favor, increasing their loyalty in a bid to achieve influence, or having them cooperate in order to guide the country through history. Do competition. All right, we're going to build a university in Cagliari. We'll build one in Tunis. And then I think we'll build one in Tadla. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. Maybe one in Kabila too. What's our highest dev provinces? No, probably not. We'll build it in Ducal, actually, that port city. And then when we're done with the universities, I think we are probably ready to build the army up again. I'll try and build up the army, and I think we'll probably end for the day after that. And then next, well, I'll probably stream this again tomorrow after Millennium Dawn. We're going to go to war. The Pope has said that California is Castile's by right. You know the worst part of our feud with the Papal States is in all these treaties for colonial land, we haven't been given right to own a single piece of the New World ever. Because the Papal States hate us so much. Which makes sense. It does. Go for goods produced, and I'll take that cost on. We can start going to tier 2 advisors at this point. If you could change the color of a single button in EU4, what button would be? What would the color be? So, very specific question. I would change the strengthen government button to be like a really like maroon red and have the effect behind it of flames. That's what I'd do. What does strengthening your government actually mean? It's an easy button to click. What does it really mean? Probably political purges, right? That's probably what that is in some form or another. People are probably getting locked up or disappeared or threatened. One of those three. Our naval supply production has been unusually good, giving us a boost in ship production. Wonderful. Oh, yes. Only the most deep answers. That was the original rift between us and the Pope. Is it bad that I don't remember? Probably. What did cause our rift with the Pope? Didn't they break their alliance and not go into a war with us? I think it's that they didn't go into a war with us. Like, I feel like the papal states that I think they didn't go into a war. At the end of the Protestant Reformation, we were fighting our wars with, yeah, they didn't join us in a war with Castalla, I think is what it was. They broke our alliance and then they rivaled us, I believe is what happened. The papal state is sowing discontent in Sardinia. Improved foraging. Nice. We actually attrition people in our land now. Build the universities. Kabila. Ducala. Cagliari. Yeah, that's enough. All right, military time. I feel like EU4 has a lack of imperial collapse. Which empire specifically? Oh, you mean just in general? I do agree. I wish there were more mechanics in it to have civil wars and stuff. I know they added one, and I think for the Ottomans recently, right, with domination. I think, isn't there a whole mechanic for the Ottomans breaking up now? I wish it was more in, like, for the more of the bigger powers, though. Yeah, Ottomans, they have that decadent system, and then they can have that collapse where you get all those rebels. If all big empires, when you got the empire title, had a mechanic like that, I think it would make the game more interesting. But I'm sure it'd be a pain in the ass to actually balance it. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Thank you for the 13 months, Tall. Appreciate it. We got 2 more minutes. I might go to 11. It's not much longer. But I appreciate the 13 months. Thank you for the Prime Tall. Is raising our mercantilism in the colony of California, which is literally just San Francisco Bay. I want to remind you. The great colony state of California, which actually was all of California at one point for us, is now literally just San Francisco Bay. That's all we've got. Okay. Let's take a look. So we do need naval batteries, don't we? No, we already built those up. Okay. Let's see what our current costs are if we unmothball the fleets. And we pay everything. We still have a massive surplus. Let's unmothball. We're not mothballed on our forts, actually. Wow. Our economy has really transformed, hasn't it? Look at that. Let's up our advisors next. Let's put them up to level 2s. We have a really good one who is cheap. Don't. We'll go with Alessandro Tapparelli, and then we're going to upgrade him to tier 2. One of these we got for cheaper. Maybe it was a Diplo advisor. Yeah, there he is. Barzone della Torre. Torre, he's probably Torres then. He is very cheap. We're going to pick him up here. And then we'll go with Barcel Pallavicini. And we will upgrade him to level 2 as well. And we should be making pretty good power stats once we have a Sada in power. What's that look like for our economy now? Still huge surplus. Should you buy RimWorld? Absolutely. Get it on sale on Steam or go to a key site for it. They don't put it on very big sale, but you can get a little bit off on it. Okay. Build up the transport fleet first. And then we're going to build up an army. What's the composition? I hate to do this, but I am going to look at the meta for comps just because we're going to be fighting an uphill battle here. EU4 composition meta. For any of the roleplay people watching, look away and don't listen. This is disgusting. I feel dirty doing this, but we're going to do it. These are old as shit. Let's find something recently. 5. Tech are we? We are currently 23. We're very late. Oh, I don't want to watch a Flory Warrior video. Oh, this bad guy made a graphic. That's beautiful. Okay. Some shotgun morale in the early game. Prioritize defensive fire and defensive moral pips when they have lots of arty. Text 23 to 32. Western and Eastern units have minor pip advantages. I really don't want to do the stack thing where I put the artillery separate. I will refuse to do that, but I will use the ratios. Again. 23. 38 combat width. Says 15 infantry, 4 cavalry, 19 artillery in a stack. Then though you have like 20 stacks of infantry nearby to reinforce or something. Combat width is 30 something. 33, I think. What's the base? I know you add that to the base. Half stack I assume means that we have 2 of these. A naval meta guide here too. Okay. 1687. 65 fleet width. 12 heavy ships and 32 galleys. Oh, I see. Okay, all-purpose and then inland and then oceanic fleets. The year 1695. Okay, so stacks of 24 heavies for the oceans. For inland sea fleet, you want, see, 5 heavies and 55 galleys. I'm just gonna make heavy stacks. We've got the combat ability on those, I think, right? Yeah. Wait, no. Let's redo the logistics. Because I know with naval combat, it's all about reinforcing with the right size fleet, right? That I do know. Fleet around. Do both of these. Ooh, Cyrus Taparelli. That's a 6-fire admiral. Not bad. Maneuver gives more, I think, fleet engagement width too, if I remember correctly. Okay, then for our army stacks. Infantry, 4 cavalry, and 19 artillery. Oh god. Artillery is so expensive. Four, 5. See if we can even afford this to start off with. Great Shadow Legends. The our infantry count should match the combat width of the infantry, having 10 to 12 more infantry for reserves. Yeah, so I'm going to make both of these 2 stacks, and I'm going to make a 20 stack of infantry to just back them up at all times. That's how we're going to do this. I know I hate myself for doing this cheese, but we're got our back against the wall here, so I'll actually use the fucking meta. I hate to do this. See what EU4 makes me do? I hate this so much, but I also don't want us to fucking die here, so I will use everything I have to. It didn't work? Really, Curse? It's got a lot of people saying it works. I'm sure there's better comp guides, to be fair. Well, we're gonna go for it and see what happens. I'm gonna trust the meta guide. A meta guide.